want to welcome the Sports Extra for Sunday, June 10th. On our show tonight, the Braves in the city of Atlanta salutes John Smoltz, then looks ahead to the future by drafting a local product. Falcons are busy on the field and at the golf course. Plus, we're going to look at Julio's new due. 49ers star Vernon Davis drops in to share his off-field passion. We are pleased to be joined by San Francisco 49ers star tight end Vernon Davis in town for a very special event along with Antone Barnes. They want something very special this weekend. Gentlemen, welcome to Atlanta. Great to have you in town. Talk about modern class design as a partnership in the business. What makes this a good time for it?
It's a perfect time for modern class design because, as we all know, everybody's going through tough economic times. And with our company, we specialize in giving you the best for your dollar. And basically not trying to take you to the bank. We want you to enjoy your home when we're done with it, not sitting back thinking about, okay, how am I going to pay for this?
Yeah. Well, Vernon, obviously, this is something that you studied at University of Maryland, I think. Talk about that. It's something that you studied, something you have a passion for.
Yeah, well, I didn't find out that I was in love with art until my sophomore year of college. And I was a criminal justice major.
Whoa.
But something kept telling me, it was like, Vernon. It just kept calling my name for some reason. So decided to go with it. I didn't look back, changed my major. And ever since, I've been in love with art. And I met this guy, Antone, right here. And I had a chance to look at his house. And he was an interior designer, but he did some great things in his house. And I brought him on board to take care of my little brother's home. And he did a fantastic job.
So much so you want to share this with young people, and that's what you're doing here this weekend. You want young people to go to a camp with science and technology. Talk about the motivation for that and what you're hoping it will achieve.
Well, growing up, I was afraid. I was afraid to take up art because of the community and the environment that I grew up in. So I want kids, and my message to the kids is that you don't be afraid to do whatever it is you want to do. You can study art. You don't have to be a basketball or football player. Only God can judge you. So that's what I want to let them know, that they're still cool no matter what.
Yeah. Antone, also about having someone with his star power and his notoriety to lend a support for something like this.
Oh, definitely. I mean, with Vernon's name and recognized, it opens a lot of opportunities and doors. And I truly agree with him. A lot of, especially in urban environments, a lot of kids are very limited in regards to their options and what they're exposed to and what they think they're capable of doing. And we want to, break that stereotype and get them out of the mindset that they have to only be a football player, basketball player, a rapper, et cetera, et cetera. Like, you can have, a very enjoyable and fun career doing other things that, okay, maybe your friends don't agree with you, but so what? Like you said, only God could judge you.
And happy and content within yourself.
Exactly.
Obviously, well.
Very much.
The different type of spring and summer for you, because this time last year, you weren't able to get on a football field. You were locked out of everything. How did you deal with that, and how is this a different type of spring for you?
Well, the lockout last year, I mean, it's pretty devastating because didn't have a chance to bond with my teammates. So that was one of the things that was a negative on that. But this year, I mean, we're back in action. We're hitting the field running. And so that's a plus because you get a chance to develop the chemistry with some of the guys that you barely even know. So that's the great thing about having off-season training right now.
Off-season training, that's kind of scary. You guys went 13-3 last year with no off-season training. I thought I'd just remind you of that.
So what you saying? We don't need OTAs?
We heard something about Peyton Manning even coming to your place. I mean, how did you feel about that, the possibility of him coming?
You know what? A lot of people ask me that question. I just told them I was satisfied with Alex. I believe in Alex. Me and Alex, we developed a bond that cannot be broken. And I'm all for him. I'm a strong supporter of Alex Smith. I take my hat off to him because he's been through so much. He's endured so much stress, and he still manages to come out on top. He's just strong mentally and physically. He's just one of those guys that you want on your team because he won't break.
Yeah, one more thing, actually, just as a tight end, we got a pretty good one here in Atlanta, a guy named Tony. But what do you do to make yourself a little bit better? I mean, hard to think you're being better, but what do you do to make yourself a little bit better?
I look at guys like Tony. I watch for weaknesses that he might portray. But I look up to Tony. Me and Tony are good friends. We go back. I've learned some stuff from him, and it's funny because every time he see me, we're always talking about football. I say, "What you doing? What you doing when you get back to Atlanta, Tony?" He said, "I'm going to watch you and see what you're doing." So I was like, okay, that's funny because I just finished doing the same thing.
Fantastic. Well, you're here. You have a gala coming up this weekend. You want people to get involved and know about the camp that's coming up. There are details of their webpage or a place people can go to get more information?
Yes, well, first you could go to www.minorclassdesign.com to check out and get more information about MCD and what we're doing with the company and all the other projects that we have going on.
Well, thank you so much. Great to have both of you in town. Wishing you great things with the camp for the young people this summer, and we're watching great things for the season until you meet the Falcons in the playoffs.
Yeah, to get that one in.
Great to have you in town.
Oh, thanks for having me.
All right, that's Vernon Davis. Great to have him here in Atlanta. You stay tuned. More Sports Extra after this timeout.